Many believe that every rapper bows to Diddy, that in hip-hop, his name alone demands respect. But the truth? It's far more complex. Today we spotlight the bold few who challenge his empire. Not with rage, but with resilience. Not with fear, but with fearless expression. These artists didn't wait for approval. They carved their own lanes, and in doing so, they changed the game. When Curtis 50 Cent Jackson took aim at Diddy, he wasn't looking for trouble. He was making a statement. He skipped the formalities. No greetings, no backstage diplomacy, just punchlines, delivered with timing sharper than a blade. Puffy hugs you from the front and the back, 50 joked. The internet exploded. Laughter echoed. The message was clear. He wasn't afraid. When Diddy signed Rick Ross, a known rival, 50 didn't whine. He didn't rant. Instead, he got creative. Memes, skits, videos, each one a jab wrapped in humor. He turned social media into a battleground where jokes hit harder than fists. Behind every laugh was a strategy. Behind every post, a masterclass in mind games. He didn't need to shout. He just kept moving, and the world watched. Suge Knight didn't knock on the door of the industry. He kicked it open. At the 1995 Source Awards, he stood in front of the world and dared artists to walk away from Bad Boy Records. It wasn't just a speech, it was a shot across the bow. With Death Row Records, he ruled through fear and respect, whispers of threats, stories of power moves, a presence that couldn't be ignored. Even as courtrooms replaced boardrooms, his legend only grew. Suge proved that sometimes dominance doesn't need words, it just needs presence. Styles P, Jadakiss, Sheik Luch, they started under Diddy's wing. But when the money and the control didn't add up, they stood up. One chair across a room, one lawsuit filed, one stand taken. They demanded their music back, and they got it. No PR teams, no middlemen, just three men with a mission. Jadakiss even called Diddy a coward, live, on stage. They weren't just fighting for royalties, they were reclaiming their identity. Unity was their weapon, and they used it to break the chains. Tupac Shakur didn't play by the rules. He rewrote them. After the Quad Studios shooting, he suspected betrayal, and he didn't hold back. Hit Him Up wasn't a diss track. It was a declaration of war, a raw, emotional firestorm. He named names. He didn't hide behind metaphors. He made his pain public, and the world listened. Even after his passing, his verses echoed through time. Every word was a weapon, every track, a legacy. Tupac showed us that vulnerability is strength, and honesty is louder than silence. When Diddy reportedly confronted J. Cole at a party over Kendrick Lamar's Control verse, Cole didn't snap. He wrote, "Let go my hand," wasn't a diss. It was a reflection, a poetic resistance. No drama, no hash. He just let his music do the talking, and it spoke volumes. His quiet defiance showed that true power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. When Diddy wanted a beat that Drake had already claimed, the moment could have exploded. But Drake didn't argue. He didn't post. He just moved. He dropped 4 p.m. in Calabasas, a calm, calculated track with subtle jabs and stylish restraint. Then came the meme, a single still from The Big Short. Caption, "I never hung out with these idiots after work. No need for beef, just brilliance." Drake reminded the world, the calmest wave still carries the most force. Eminem never sugarcoated the truth. In Kill Shot, he threw a bomb. He implied that Diddy might know more about Tupac's death than the world believed. The line, explosive. The reaction, immediate. Forums lit up, theories spread. YouTube broke down every lyric. Diddy stayed silent. But silence, sometimes, says the most. In M, he doubled down. He kept writing, keep questioning, it kept challenging. Through sharp rhymes and surgical bars, Eminem proved, truth wrapped in art is louder than any headline. When Kendrick called himself the King of New York, Diddy fired back with a post. But Kendrick didn't reply in anger. He replied in brilliance. Songs like The Blacker the Berry and I followed. Works of passion, poetry, and precision. He didn't shout his truths, he painted them. Live shows became visual stories. Lyrics became layered lessons. Fans, they listened with their hearts. Kendrick showed us the highest form of retaliation isn't revenge, it's elevation. Each of these artists stood up, not just against Diddy, but against a system that told them to fall in line. They proved that courage isn't always loud, that power isn't always visible, that greatness lies in staying true to yourself, even when the pressure is heavy. So, which story sparked something in you? Tell us in the comments, and remember, your voice, your truth, your art, it matters. Like, share, subscribe for more stories that inspire, challenge, and motivate.